Epic scriptures Ramayana and Mahabharata are categorized as Itihasa scriptures. Conventionally, we may consider Itihasa to mean the historical tales, but in Hindu theological narrations, the descriptions are often mixed with mythological and spiritual input to make them more forceful in their teaching value. Some have interpreted Itihasa as thus we should live. This rendition imparts a higher moral value to these scriptures. In the Hindu pantheon, Lord Rama is the Lord of propriety, Maryada. He was always restrained and unprovoked. He never did anything improper. He would become the role model for correct conduct. In every situation, however stressful, he remained calm and gentle. He never became angry and never lost his temper. He was always most respectful and kind. Even when his stepmother, Kekai, became the cause of his great troubles and trials, he revered her as a Hindu ought to revere his mother. He touched her feet and took his leave before going into exile for 14 years. He bore malice towards none. To his parents, his manners always remained exemplary. Towards Sita, he was most loving and courteous. From him, we learn the unique teaching of Eka Patni, which means only one wife for one man. When his brother Lakshmana was seriously wounded, he actually cried. The bond of the two brothers would become the inspiration of brotherly love in the history of mankind. Towards Ravana, the wicked king, he remained persuasive until the very end to wean him from evil. Only after it became clear that Ravana would never change did Rama take the bow and kill him to uphold the cause of righteousness. Hindu society has referred to Lord Rama in the human form as Maryada Purushottam, the perfect man who has remained an inspiration to become an ideal son, brother, husband, and ruler. He epitomized the spiritual virtues of truth, humility, and caring for others. Every situation in the Ramayana has a moral touch, and every character has an ethical significance. The other characters of Ramayana too portray the similar spiritual aspects of the Hindu culture. Sita went into the forest with Lord Rama, foregoing all the luxuries of the palace. Another brother, Lakshmana, also joined the long journey to serve his elder brother Rama. When Bharat returned from his grandfather's home, he not only turned down the offer of the throne, but he went to plead with Rama to return and become the king. Rama, however, remained firm in his decision, as he considered it a matter of uprightness, dharma, to abide by noble values and principles. Bharat then returned with a pair of Rama's sandals, which he placed on the throne to represent the exiled prince. Bharat would only be performing on behalf of Rama until his return. Thus, the greed and evil of the queen Kekai and her relative Manthra were fully compensated by the sacrifice and unselfishness of the son Bharat. In the forest, the wicked Ravana lured Sita to come out of the symbolic line drawn by Lakshmana so that he could kidnap her. Many centuries later, parents elders and others who cared for young men and women would tell them not to cross the Lakshman Rekha, the limit of propriety, to safeguard against any evil in hiding. They would be warned, especially the women, to observe the rules of the discipline. Otherwise, they might suffer the consequences of protracted harm and humiliation which Sita had to suffer at the hands of the wicked Ravana. Valmiki chose the most powerful character of Sita, the mother symbol in all Hindu culture, to depict human weakness and to prove beyond any shadow of doubt that person may be vulnerable at any time. In Ramayana, God Hanuman occupies a very special place. He is portrayed as the epitome of strength and service. The Yoga Vasishtha, which is the classic book of Lord Rama, notes the following teaching. O Rama, the result of good action is good, while that of evil action is evil. With this knowledge in mind, do as you please. This powerful tale of Ramayana has thus held the Hindu spellbound for thousands of years and always inspired them to tread on the right path.